Well, I'm ready and unpacked, and coincidentally, on the same day, I've had this arrive. This being the Sideshow 1999 edition of the, it just went out there, was the year it was released, of the Creature from Black Lagoon, which is really cool. And I'm wearing my Creature t-shirt, which is bloody nice, and I'm going to go see the Creature from Black Lagoon in 3D with two of my mates and my dad. So, yeah, I'm filming all on my iPhone, so hopefully it looks fine. I'm not going to film the film, but I'll film the experience. This is going to be great. I've been waiting for this for literally 2 years because of COVID. So, yeah, I'm kind of shaking. It's going to be cool. Alright, so I'm walking to the bus stop because undoubtedly the bus is going to be quicker than I am today. It's a chilly-ish day. Nice enough weather, as you can see with the clouds. Got me hat on, a jacket. But yeah, this is, I don't know, I'm pretty sure this is the original 3D. Keen to see what kind of glasses they use. I have two different frames, so I can mix and match if I need to. And yeah, Guy and Bill will be there. Dad will be there. I'm fucking king. Now it's filming.
Look, looking for a hat.
I have a hat. Look, it's Guy and Bill.
Palestine.
I'm making a vlog for YouTube to be like, look, I'm watching this movie in 3D. Because, you know, it's not easy to do apparently. Let me go into another dimension.
Just like, yeah, shows up, does some shit, then runs off.
We did it. Did you enjoy it?
What?
The movie. Did you like the movie?
Yeah, it was alright.
Hey, 2 thumbs up for the creature in 3D.
It was so goofy. I loved it. There's so many like out of focus just specks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they really threw you off, didn't they?
Oh. Good. So I'm back now from the screening. Just had some dinner. It's like 9:45. That was one hell of a night. We were able to successfully, meet up with Guy and Bill and Dad, of course. And yeah, we got in there. They had 3D glasses, which were very goofy. But obviously not the traditional like red and blue kind of glasses, more the modern tech that they've been having for the past 20 years. And yeah, we got in our seats, made ourselves comfortable, whatever. I cleaned the glasses because they were just kind of not in the best shape, kind of deal. Like they'd look pretty dirty in a way. No harm, no foul. Not hard to clean them. And yeah, then the movie got started, and it was amazing. Now, I will say, for the obvious context, this is clearly the 4K restoration that they've used, which you can see on the Blu-ray disc. The Blu-ray disc of the film comes with the 3D automatically, and if you have a 3D TV, you can watch that version. I, on the other hand, do not have a 3D TV, so the only way to watch it is basically this way, by going to the cinema and being able to view it. And after 2 years of waiting, finally being able to see it. I always wondered what it was like in 3D. And I've, we've all grown up during some kind of 3D craze. For me, it started with like Spy Kids 3D and ended with Avatar. Actually, of all things, Avengers in 3D. That was like one of the last movies I watched in 3D. And I watched somewhere in high school, maybe 2015, I watched Dial M for Murder, and it was in 3D. We basically, they had a few films that were being, restored and reshown and whatever at a small cinema that was nearby, and Dad and I only had time for a few screenings, so we decided to go Dial M for Murder and 2001 Space Odyssey. So we watched Dial M for Murder in 3D. I'd never seen the film before, and I don't think I will watch it again, mostly because nothing will top the 3D experience, because it's the kind of 3D where it's not goofy gimmicks of, oh, it's all coming at you. It was the kind of 3D where it's about depth of field, and like you're looking into a square, not looking at a flat screen. You're looking into a room, and it was so effectively done. And I haven't seen 3D utilized like that basically ever until tonight, where they did a similar thing where it was a utilization of depth of field. So you would have so much stuff. There would be like basically like 3 layers to the image in a way, where you'd have the front layer would be so the foreground would be like sometimes out of focus fish or specks of dirt if you're in the water, or grass of some kind. Then the next layer would be what was basically the main focus, either the people, characters, the creature, whatever. And then the foreground was usually, the background was usually somewhat in focus, but not completely, but usually in focus enough. Whether this be, you could see all of the rainforest behind the characters, or that deep into the water to as much as the light could pick up, or if they're on the boat, you could see that it was clearly a set. Not all the time. There was various different moments where, for me, I think it worked well, where the background matte painting kind of deal shown through. Like, I think it worked for the most part, because it's a film that like doesn't always look very cheesy, like they've filmed it on sound stages per se. There was only one part which was very bizarre to me, where they were in the cave for the first time chasing the creature, and you could look down this far tunnel as like the characters going around a rock, and in the far distance it looked like they were like Roman pillars or something. Like, it was bizarre, like it was some kind of molded cave. I think it just happened to be a backdrop that they had, and they didn't expect people to be able to look into that far into the distance. So because the rest of the cave looks like a cave, and then suddenly it just is pillars and stuff. It's very bizarre. Which is like a fun thing that I had never noticed before. This is my 3rd time watching the film. So I'd watched it late last year, the day after my birthday, with my partner, because she hadn't seen it before. And of course I was meant to introduce it to her in 3D, but it is what it is. But yeah, for the most part, it was a very nice experience. The 3D looked fantastic. There were some gimmicky shots, like where the harpoons would be shooting towards the camera. And probably my favorite of the 3D effect shots was actually when they first discovered the fossilized hand in the stone, as the camera goes up to it, and it just kind of comes out at you, like as if the hand is coming at you. And it was so fun to look at that, and I was just like, this is beautiful. Now, of course, because I was wearing glasses on top of glasses, and we're at a bit of an angle from, like, we weren't looking straight at the screen, we were, like, a bit to the side, so I would have, like, some pink or green lines occasionally, but, which is also such a weird thing, because it's in black and white, so it didn't bother me too much. I got used to it. Sometimes, like, I got the right head position to just be able to kind of look straight at it, and I'd be like, unless some of the shots would have like a moving object in the background, where it would be like leaves or something, and occasionally would go a little, pink, or usually it was like a purpley pink most of the time. I hardly ever noticed the green, which was good. Maybe it was a blend of the two colors to some degree. So like, looking at the very center in a way, where it bridges. But yeah, it was wonderful to watch. Interesting with an audience too, because of course a lot of people don't look at the film as a horror film sometimes. Well, it is still a horror film, but because it's a 50s horror film, a lot of it, for some people can find it quite goofy. And there were occasions where, basically in the second half of the film, people would, like, laugh at some of the stuff in particular, which some of it was, like, deserved, or, like, not deserved, but, like, warranted to some degree, like, yeah, I can understand people laughing at this because it's kind of goofy. Like, there's the guy who gets wrapped in all the bandages, and everyone kind of thinks it's a bit of a goof, But then there's, like, stuff like my favorite scene of the film, where the creature has been imprisoned, and he's, like, kind of in this tank with, like, these makeshift prison bars, and he's just kind of sitting there, staring at the characters, and I still remember this, especially the second time watching it. It's like genuinely terrifying watching that, because there's a lot of times in the movie where the creature's in the water and maybe it's watching them, or maybe you kind of got this feeling, especially earlier in the film, where maybe something's watching the characters, and that's when kind of the horror starts to dread into it. But for me, this part in particular, where you're just kind of watching the character of the creature and it's looking right back at you, but you are the order, like you are the characters there, like, you know, and it's just watching and waiting, not moving, not blinking, but can't blink, you know, no bubbling water or anything around it. It's just sitting there waiting, because when the time is right, it will arise, break free, and cause havoc. And of course it does, and it's fun as hell. But like, some people kept laughing every time it cut back to the creature. But then when it actually came out of the water, it was like, you know, it had that gasping effect that it has. Like, when it started doing that, it like put its head through the bars and then it started pressing them up and everything. Like, you know, in some degree I can interpret it as like, yeah, it looks a bit silly because it's a guy in a costume pressing up bars and shit and whatever. But it's like, especially when he like breaks out and you hear a loud noise, you turn around, the creature's as if he's just jumped out of the water and he's like, I'm gonna get you now, you know. But it was a blast to watch, despite, you know, that, like, obviously there's gonna be people laughing and whatever, people talking. Got hit in the back of the chair at one point, which wasn't great. It didn't like hurt me or anything, but the chairs were kind of like springed in a way, so it was a bit bizarre. Kind of threw me off a little. But yeah, no, it was just a wonderful experience. My friends really liked it, so that was really great. Bill fell asleep at one point. He woke up when the creature was imprisoned. So yeah, it's kind of funny. I'm pretty sure both him and Dad had come from, you know, long work days, so I don't completely blame him, and I don't really mind personally. I wasn't sitting next to him. It was me. Like, Dad was to my left, Guy was to my right, and Bill was to Guy's right. So yeah, I don't know. It worked out in the end. I enjoyed it. It was a very, very fun experience. It was absolutely wonderful being able to see it. And yeah, after 2 years, finally waiting, I just... It's one for the memory banks, that's for sure. And I'm very happy I was able to make this vlog, despite obviously filming on my phone per se. But yeah, look, I hope you guys have kind of enjoyed this experience. I would have, if I had the opportunity, filmed what it would have looked like, but at the same time, it's not too unique of an experience if it was like, unless it was the original like 35mm print or whatever with original, you know, 3D pressing. In this case, it was just put on the Blu-ray, put on the 3D, click play kind of deal, so it still looked crisp as hell and whatever, but it's clearly the 3D you can get on your 3D player, 3D TV, whatever. So it's not something that you can't experience at home, but given my technological circumstances of not having a 3D player or TV, actually I think one of my Blu-ray players can play 3D, but my TV cannot. Which is so weird how 3D TVs are a specific thing, but you can't get a 3D merged with regular TV. Like, that's just not a thing anymore, or like it's too expensive to do that, and nobody does it anymore, so bizarre. Like, it should have stayed as a thing rather than just being a gimmick. Anyway, that's all for now. Thank you for watching if you've enjoyed. It was wonderful to watch this, and I am very hopeful to watch it again, but they've only have this for like the next few days till like Sunday, basically. It's like a 4-day thing, and I'm very lucky I was able to get in today, because I was like, well, when I booked it in advance, I was like, I can do the Thursday night because I usually don't work Thursday nights. I don't work Fridays. This is before I even got my day job, so like, you know, I am actually working tomorrow, but it's like, you know, this was the main concern was if I do Friday night, I could have like a 9 a.m. game on Saturday, and luckily I don't, but yeah, I was very lucky with the timing of this, and it worked out very nicely, so it was a wonderful experience. Outside of that, yeah, no, just more collecting of the creature to go. Hopefully I'll find that naked ballhead at some stage, but yeah, I always like collecting creatures, so that's good. If you're curious, I only like collecting creatures that look like the creature, not something that has the name brand but isn't actually looks like the creature from the movie. I'm very particular about that, so nevertheless. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this video and thank you for watching. Won't have a vlog like this again for a long time because I don't really do this kind of stuff. So yeah, adios.